Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the podcast. And today I am going to go my review of Friday Night Smackdown. Starting off the evening, we have an LA Knight segment. LA Knight comes out to the ring, grabs a microphone. He greets the crowd live from Berlin. LA Knight says it's been 27 years since Germany has had a live event. LA Knight then issues an open challenge for that night. And then that person that answers that open challenge is none other than Ludwig Kaiser. Kaiser accepts the challenge. And Kaiser says that he will turn the U.S. title into the European title. Moving on from that, it gets us into an impromptu matchup. It is LA Knight defending the U.S. title against Ludwig Kaiser. I thought it was a good match to start SmackDown. Back and forth matchup between Knight and Kaiser, with LA Knight keeping the pace of the match. Kaiser then hits a step-up enziguri on Knight for a near fall. Knight and Kaiser then both exchange in the middle of the ring, with Kaiser hitting a Death Valley driver for a near fall. But Knight hits his signature BFT on Kaiser, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match and still U.S. champion is LA Knight. Hats off to LA Knight for getting the win in that matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It's a tag team matchup. It is Los Garza versus Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin. It was a decent match, back and forth matchup between both teams, with Crews and Corbin keeping the pace of the match. Escobar then attacks Baron Corbin with the referee being distracted, but Los Garza hit the finish, pins for the 3, and your winners of the match are Los Garza. Hats off to Los Garza for getting the win in that matchup. Moving on from that, we have a face-to-face between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. Rhodes comes out to the ring as well as Kevin Owens. Rhodes then grabs a microphone. He hypes up Bash at Berlin. Owens then asks if they want to talk about Rhodes' knee. Owens had hinted it around about Cody Rhodes injuring his knee during a live event while they were doing their live tour. Rhodes didn't seem like he wanted to talk about that. Rhodes, though, wonders if Owens was going to hit him with the title last week. If you guys remember, I think it was last week on SmackDown, Owens, went to go grab the belt, looked like he was going to attack Cody Rhodes with the belt, but handed the title to Rhodes and then walked away. So it looks like Cody Rhodes was kind of wondering if Kevin Owens was going to attack him with that belt. Rhodes then tells Owens that he does not get enough credit. The crowd starts chanting Owens. Owens then tells Rhodes that he knows he's hurt. Rhodes says that he is ready for Bash in Berlin. Rhodes then praises Kevin Owens. After that, Rhodes then asks Owens if they will be friends after Berlin, and then Owens quickly walks away, leaving that questionable doubt whether Kevin Owens and Rhodes are going to be friends after Bash in Berlin. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is a rivalry matchup. It is Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. These two have been battling for the past couple weeks. This match itself, again, good matchup, back and forth matchup between Andrade and Hayes, with Andrade keeping the pace of the match. Andrade hits a moonsault as well as a springboard Spanish fly. Andrade and Carmelo both exchange in the middle of the ring, but Andrade hits the finish on Carmelo, pins him for the 3, and your winner of the match is Andrade. Hats off into Andrade for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is the main event of Friday Night SmackDown. It is a street fight for the WWE Women's Championship. It is Nia Jax versus Michin. I thought it was a good match. I mean, Michin comes out to the ring, pretty much looks exactly like how Raven used to come out to the ring, with the shopping cart full of trash cans and kendo sticks, so I thought that was kind of cool. The match itself was a decent match, back and forth matchup between Nia and Michin, with Michin keeping the pace of the match. Michin then hits Nia Jax with the kendo stick, as well as a trash can lid. Nia Jax hits Michin with a chair shot. It looked absolutely brutal. Michin then hits a power bomb through a table on Nia Jax. Tiffany Stratton is here. It looks like she was going to cash in, but instead Stratton attacks Michin. Bayley is here. Bayley then attacks Stratton. Nia Jax then hits a Samoan drop through the tables on Michin, and then Nia Jax hits her signature Annihilator on Michin, pins her for the 3, and your winner of the match and still women's champion is Nia Jax. Hats off to Nia Jax for getting the win in that matchup. A couple of things I want to talk about as far as SmackDown is concerned before I get out of here, man. Number one, was it a decent event? It was all right. I mean, I think it was one of those SmackDowns that really weren't. It wasn't the best SmackDown. I am kind of curious, though, and I think a lot of people have said the same thing. I mean, obviously, there's still a lot of build-up and storyline between Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns, but we haven't seen Roman, I think, in the past couple weeks, man. So I don't know what's going on with Roman Reigns. I think Roman, for all intents and purposes, I think SmackDown needs Roman. I think they need to continue that Bloodline storyline. Obviously, he's been gone for a couple of weeks, so obviously there's been stuff going on, obviously, in his personal life, obviously, with the passing of Alpha and stuff like that. And I understand that, but I also, to me, I think it's something where they need to start pushing this storyline with Roman, have Roman come back, and see what Roman's going to do. Because obviously, at this point, Roman needs to start recruiting members to his stable to go up against the new bloodline. And I told you guys, I think it's going to be an all-out civil war between the new bloodline, headlined by Solo Sikoa, and the original bloodline, headlined by Roman Reigns. And I don't know who Roman's going to recruit for that. I don't know if Roman's going to go back and maybe recruit Jimmy and Jay, if that's a possibility, maybe Sami Zayn, or they're going to bring in new people to be a part of this bloodline storyline. I know WWE had signed, I believe, Hikuleo from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Obviously, he has ties to the bloodline. I know they're trying to get other members that are currently wrestling in other places, a part of the Anahu family, to possibly bring them in to the fold for the bloodline storyline. And obviously the big question mark is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Is he going to be a part of this bloodline Civil War storyline, or is he not? And if he does, the biggest question is who is he going to join? Is he going to join Solo Sikoa, or is he going to join the likes of Roman Reigns? And that's, again, going to be a big question if The Rock does, in fact, get involved with the bloodline storyline. But again, I think it does take away a little bit from SmackDown. I think SmackDown, to me, leading up to Bash at Berlin wasn't as great. I think a lot of it had to do with Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens obviously tying up that story between them two leading into Bash at Berlin. But it wasn't the greatest SmackDown. Damn sure wasn't the worst, but it wasn't the best SmackDown. Mainly, it was just a little bit of a build lead up towards Bash at Berlin, in my honest opinion. But, obviously we're going to be going into a new week. New storylines are going to be built. Hopefully we do see Roman here in the foreseeable future, and we get some more insight of what's going on between Roman and the bloodline, and if he's going to recruit people to his stable to go up against the new bloodline headlined by Solo Sikoa. So again, it's still up in the air, man. But I think SmackDown desperately needs to have Roman back into the fold again, and hopefully we see Roman a lot more on TV in the foreseeable future, because I just think SmackDown, the go-home show for SmackDown leading into Bash at Berlin, just wasn't that great, in my honest opinion. But with that being said, this is my review of Friday Night SmackDown. I hope you guys are out there staying safe. Be careful, and remember, stay classic. Peace.